Greetings and welcome to Office Hours with Dr. G. I'm your host, Dr. G, and I'm so glad that you could keep our appointment. I just have to say, it seems like I've been off the air for a month of Tuesdays, and I'm so glad to be back. And this is a very special month for me because it was 1 year ago that Office Hours with Dr. G debuted. And what better guest to have than one of my favorites is your sister, our mother, Mother Khai. According to Mother Khai, she holds the greatest title in the omniverse. She is a Ma Cosmosin. And in utilizing her natural gifts and talents, she does all things according to nature. Mother Khai has been given many character roles to play on the stage and does not identify them or place herself in a box. She role plays, allowing others the right to call her as they think they see her. Some see her as an iridologist, still others see her as a numerologist, a nutritionist, an inspirational speaker, teacher, student, author, designer, or politician. And the list may grow. As Mother Khai says, she does not divide, she adds up. Well, I think this is her third appearance on Office Hours with Dr. G. And tonight she has a question for all of us. And that is, where you going? Now, I'm not sure exactly where this is going to lead, but you need to be prepared to answer that question for yourself as we present my sister, our mother, Mother Khai. Thank you for coming back on such a short notice, my sister. Welcome.
Welcome. Welcome. Come well. Come well. Yes, come well. Let's rock.
a little beat until we get to the. So glad to have you on the show. Welcome. Welcome. And I know everybody is always excited because we never know what ride you're going to take us on. And today, you posed a question to me that you want to pose to all of us is, I almost thought about Wendy, like Wendy, where you going? Right?
Exactly.
Well, first of all, I know you wanted to give some shout outs, but I just again wanted to say thank you to each and every one of the Office Hours with Dr. G regulars, because it's been a year. I cannot believe it has been a year. It was a year ago. I mean, this thing is growing and blooming, and I have another channel that we're trying to get online as soon as I can get that 1,000 subscribers, and I'm halfway there just about. But I am so happy that during this year, you and I made a connection, and it's been a wonderful connection. I think we found that we're probably related in some way, because
I know we related. I don't even go with the possibility.
We're both Terry.
Yes. I don't. The probabilities are being ruled out every time you call me and say what you say, and I say yes instantly because we family, and family always got you. See, so that's why I'm here now, because of you. And when you talk about wanting to give shout outs, the first shout out is, well, this woman right here. This woman, if you can see this woman here, see, because that woman is the reason why I'm on the show today, I realized. Simply because when you called me yesterday, you went traveling places, and you called me and you said, could you be on the show today? What you got going on? I said, I always got something going on. you know. And then I thought about it. I said, well, let me see what day it is. And I realized today is number 11, 5/11. When you do the culmination of that, my mother's birthday, and we just had people celebrating Mother's Day. But in this new space that I'm in, I have a libation going for my mother. And so right now, if you hear an echo, it's because I'm in an empty, brand new space that is meant for people to come and get well who are family. It's not open for the public. This is a reboot Airbnb for those who have a reawakened, not wakening, but reawakened mind who are over 50. Because we need a reboot. And if we go, then there's no more cellular communication to the young ones. Because we are cells, living cells, and we're going to slough off. And we cannot go out with all the information before we give it and make it outformation. So now I'm standing here and we were playing around before coming on here. Where's the echo? Where's not the echo? Because it's a brand new, beautiful space. And I said, wait a minute. I need a reboot. I'm 61. I need a reboot. And I was looking all around town and I'm saying, where can I go to get, the colon relaxed? Because I do it at home. But sometimes, you need a cup of tea and you got some steps and you be like, damn, I don't feel like going down the steps, to get the tea. You griping. Sometimes you get a little gripe. Every time you take a colon cleanse, it don't always go right. You can just a little gripe. So you'd be like, need some hot tea and there's nobody around. And you're like, damn, it'd be nice if I had somebody here. Then, it'd be nice if I had somebody to rub my back. See, I do all of these things for others, but there's nobody to do it for me. So I'm like, wait a minute, no, I'm not a healer, I'm a helper. But for those who do call themselves healers, I need to have them around. So the healer needs healing and the healer needs a place to go. So I'm saying, if there ain't no place for me and I can't find it, well, the old saying, right? You can't find it, you have to create it. And I had this idea a long, long time ago because it's part of my path. But when I thought about, when you say, come on a show today, I was like, Mama, I know you are something. Because today we always tell each other, right, that it always happened on the 3, right?
Right.
Well, today's a 3. See? And that's the Trinity. So everybody who need a new image of the Virgin Mary, look here. Trinity. I'm dressed for the Trinity. You need a new image of the Black Madonna. She right here. I'm going to role play today, okay? Okay? Because, right? That's all. If I came on here with a mini skirt, nobody better not judge me tonight. Because Mother, okay? And I say Mother Naila because she's Mother Naila too, as well as Dr. G. She role plays, okay? And we came here to play in this dimension, but somebody got you twisted. And we're here, Dr. G and Mother Khai role playing to help you get out of the knots. Because just like what they did, what they say with the Prophet Muhammad, right? They cast spells and they tied knots. And that is what they did, how he left this dimension, because it was poison and obia, as we would say. Now, some people say, what? Witchcraft. I say obia. From the island, it's obia, right? But obia is not a bad thing. Obia simply means obey. Obey nature. See? But it gets a bad rap, like voodoo and voodoo. When we know how to use it as we should, Those forces that don't have no business troubling you know what you know, and they will leave you alone because they don't want to mess with that type of force. It's only when you let it go in your culture and start to listen to what they say and say, oh, that's obia, that's horrible stuff, and that's voodoo. Don't use that. They don't want it used on them. See? So now what you have to do is start obeying nature, and that is obligatory, not mandatory. See, man makes a mandate. Nature has things that are obligatory. The laws of Ma'at you must follow. That is obligatory. And when you are, say, fasting, they say it is obligatory. It didn't say it was mandatory. Huh? See, if you know that you are nature, then you know certain things are obligatory for you to be in the flow. That's it. Period. Period. So today, right, I'm going to give some shout outs because normally I don't do shout outs, but I'm going to do some shout outs. Let me play because this, where I'm standing here, is because of my mother. So the first shout out goes to Patty Mae Terry. Yes, yes, yes. My mother. My mother who showed me how to be a mother. So that's the first shout out. And the second shout out is to my sister, whose anniversary is today, Dr. G, aka Naila, because there's something special about her. And I know it. I can feel it. This is not about I think she's special. Oh no, I don't like to think. I like to feel. Because when you're thinking, it's too many other energies getting in the way. So I feel she's special. So now, because I feel, I know. See, that's it. Because when I was trying to pay others to let me just get on their Instagram or come on their YouTube, they didn't pay me any attention. And I was willing to pay them because I have a message, and it's not my message because there's no me. Don't forget that. You're looking at yourself. So let's get that right now. So this is not my message. This is a message that is coming through me because I'm a wave, okay? And I'm enjoying being in this body. And I came to this dimension because I wanted to have fun, period. And right now, this ain't fun. And I want to make it clear too that it's not that I like talking. I said this, and I was talking to myself because I like to talk to myself more than people. And I said, wow, you're going to talk, and who you talking to? You're talking to yourself because everybody is self. So then I said, well, you signed up for this? And I heard a voice say, no, you didn't sign up for it. Because where you come from, you don't sign for nothing. You give your word. See, that's all necessary. You just give your word, and your word is your bond. So when I came here, because I gave my word that I would serve. So now I was thinking kind of human-like, saying, this is not easy. I didn't know what I signed up for. And that's when I heard you didn't sign up. You gave your word, and then you're going to talk until you're blue in the face. And I'm like, what? And that's an old saying, talking till you're blue in the face. But then I remembered the movie Avatar. And I said, well, that's also the throat chakra, blue. So I wanted to know, well, who is talking? Oh, that's your old ancient self that's been here so many times before, reminding you what you're going to do. You're going to serve, and you're going to talk until you are blue in the face, because most of the humans, they think that they're human. Hear me now. You're going to talk until you're blue in the face because most of the human think that they're human. Now, I just gave you a shout out and said, I don't think you're special. I know you're special because I feel. But I said now that most of the human think they're human. See? Because they're thinking. And they're thinking too damn much. They don't know how to feel any longer. Because if they were truly feeling, they would know. See? But then they can't feel again. And that is why we here now. You and I here in this dimension. Need I mention? Need I mention that again? I'm playing. But that's why we here now together. Not only as family and a Terry, but as true sisters from another galaxy that gave our word to come together at some point and do exactly what we do. So now, let me give another 3 shout out to my favorite person right now who young and he keep me going. His name is Victory Anayam. And he is my chiropractor. Because many times when the world is walking on my back and I have the weight of the world on my shoulders, I have to see him twice a week for the bumps and the bruises and the fact that I'm in this vehicle and it needs an alignment every now and again. And he set me right straight. So I have to shout out Victory. And he's at, well, I won't say where he at, but if y'all know where he at, y'all let me know because he might not be there anymore because he's so great. So he might have to move around. So I won't even start that. But I will say that he's great and he's a Nigerian young professional chiropractic who does ART and he keep mother going. I mean, I'm feeling good when I leave. So that's a shout out number 3 for him. Shout out number 4 is for, oh man, this how do I say? The Taj, the Sheikh, Taj, Tariq, Bey. The one did I hear a horn go hoot hoot? Yes? Did I get a hoot hoot?
That was my phone.
That was your what?
That was my phone going blah blah.
Oh well, you see, I'm saying soon as you mentioned the grand one, your phone just acknowledged him. Hoot hoot, hoot hoot. See, his energy is that great. And see, what I've come to know is that he got some haters. Because I'm now learning more about more. Yes. But for his stage that he on, you have to recognize that he deserves 10 shout out because he is the one to help these young people. See, he's here for the young people. The old people who hate him, well, no worries, they're gonna slough off. But the nature of him and nature is going to uphold him because he's here as a servant, an older cell, to impart what it's going to take to be able to have liberation. Because there's an attack going on. And people think that they're living in modern times, but it's not modern times. This is that old time religion. And people still saying that is good enough for me. If it was good enough for Abraham, it's good enough for me. And they don't even know anything about Abraham. And that was the time of the ram. And we're talking about Aries and what was going on in nature. See, so, and they don't know about Moses and that we're talking about Taurus. So most time, what is going on is that, once again, people thinking they're human and that they're thinking that this is modern times. And if you go to your neighborhood where you used to live about 25 years ago, it looked different. So you can't remember your neighborhood, everything done built up, look different. You can't even see the same store, you get lost. So worse yet, you leave this physical body and you come back to the next one. It looked different. Simple. Because how many years you left that body and come back and you have amnesia. So now everything look different. Now you thinking, once again, you're not feeling, you're thinking you're in modern times. But there are so many remnants to show you and prove to you you're on the same timeline and you in the same space. And the same thing going on. Same shit. Finish it, y'all. Finish it. What is it? What you supposed to say?
Different day.
All right. So we got to say it down. So if you know it's the same shit, you need to know that the only thing different is your vehicle that you're riding in. You might be in a Mercedes now. You could have been in a hoopty before, and you're a little bit more upgraded. But you are on the same timeline. You are in this same space. You are in this galaxy here. You are in Earth plane right now. Because maybe you didn't learn your lessons when you came to school, and you here repeating those lessons as need be. So that's what you think. It's not what you feel. Because if you really just sit with yourself and close your eyes, you will feel that you are ancient because you are conscious. And you're not a new conscious. You see, you might be in a coma, because you can be in a coma and be conscious. But the other person who's in the hospital room thinks that you're not present, but you're hearing everything in the room. So that's why once again, I always say, I'm not with the conscious community. No, because to be conscious simply means that somebody doesn't know what the other one knows. Because if you saying you're conscious, but the person laying there in the coma, they're trying to reach out to you and they're saying, but I'm conscious. But you're not conscious, they're conscious.
You're not aware, you're saying, of their presence, their being. So
exactly. See, so what we want to be is aware. Let's be an aware community. So because conscious means that you could be, there's too many walking around in a coma saying they're conscious. And once again, we're going into nanotechnology. See? And that is a super consciousness. So how can we still be a conscious community? And everything else is going super. So now,
well, before you go there, let's talk a little bit about the fact that there's so many things that are ancient, if you will. I know you were talking about parallel in our existence, parallel, sort of like parallel universes or whatever, but there's a lot of things that are ancient. We think, oh, this is new. You're talking about nanotechnology and this, but is that really new? Is that really piecemealing out some of the things that have already been and we've forgotten about? Because in our, like you said, we come back, we forget what we knew. And if you didn't learn the last time, now you're repeating grades, so to speak. So
Yeah.
these things existed, sound healing, and all of the various things that, various, energy stuff that we're doing that's coming out now. That stuff's not new,
Not new at all.
but people are being distracted from
Yes.
what is important and focusing on, well, the insignificant things that are meant to keep you off the path of truth, of fulfillment of one's purpose, of fulfillment of one's even healing, coming to that place of ascension.
Yes.
So the things that we're going through right now. Now, you said something to me, and I know I'm taking you off a bit, but when we first came on, before we went live, you were talking about what everybody's talking about with Russia allegedly did something, and with the gas, and there's going to be no gas or something, or gas is going to be, $40 a gallon, or I mean, 40, to get. But don't you see these things as a series of distractions being sent, maybe even from a source closer than Russia?
Yes. It's
Diversion. I guess I'm going to call it diversionary tactics that are going on. What are
mm-hmm.
your feelings about that? I mean, because I know you look at numbers and so forth, but what are your feelings with regard to how we can see but not be, quote, sucked into the 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 distractions, pulled into all these things that are meant to keep you in the web of deception? What can we do? What does one need to know in order to sidestep that, and be sort of what the Bible says: be in the world but not of it. Like, don't let that shit bother you.
Ooh, that is loaded. What you just said, that was loaded. Oh, so now I got to bring it now. Because it's loaded. All right. So, all right. Let's start here first. Suppression. Okay. Suppression of who they are. Because I'm going to say they, because I'm not one of them. I'm not human. So, what has been done is that they have been taught that they're human. And so, in being human, you have emotions that can just be controlled. And they can also be, right, suppressed, right? So,
Right.
what has happened is, I'm going to take you back for a moment. In 1888, on May 16th, the man named Raymond Wright was birthed. Okay? He has a life path of 19-1. So I put this thing on, excuse me, and I had an interruption. I don't understand this phone. When I put don't disturb, it came through. So I'm on the phone. But let me just say, so Raymond Wright's life path is 19-1.
Mm-hmm.
For those that want to Google Raymond Wright, or Raymond, I think Royal Wright.
Royal Wright, yeah.
In 1931, he did something, and it was called the end of dis-ease. Okay? That was suppressed. I won't go into the whole story, but the thing is that he came and he was that energy, not the human. Because when you look at his path, it's a 19-1. The beginning, 1, the masculine, and 9, the feminine. The alpha, the omega. But when you put that together, you also get 1 and 9, which is 10, but you reduce that to 1. So he came with the program to end disease, because a 10 is the program. And then you reduce that to 1, which means initiate. So his being here in this galaxy was simply to initiate the end of dis-ease. And he was dedicated to it. And he proved, hear me now, I said he proved that energy and frequency can heal all diseases. But it was suppressed. And then from it being suppressed, he became depressed. And the proof in that is too that he has a one life path. So he was always striving to be sunny because the one is the sun. So he had a sunny disposition and he loved his wife. So when she passed away, that took him deeper into depression and drinking. So now, even though he was studying energy, he got caught in this dimension thinking he was human. And he didn't know his natal chart or numerology, which is amazing. All he was being was self. So now, what happened? All of us who are now in the age of Aquarius now know Raymond Wright, because his works were to initiate, and that's what happened. He initiated it. It was suppressed, but it still was initiated, and it lives on today.
Absolutely.
See? So now, the same thing with Nipsey Hussle, because he had that same energy, and it was to initiate things. And through Nipsey talking about Dr. Sebi and CMOS, all these young people now, and so many much more older people know about CMOS. See, so it was initiation. Some energies come here to start things. And through them not knowing that they're not human, that causes depression. Because when you do all of these great things and you know that it's great and you know that you really want to help people, because that 9 energy is all emotion. See? You feel human and you feel lonely and you get depressed because you're using humanness. But if you know that you are a solar being and that you are God's self, see, you don't get depressed like that. You just be. That's what I came to be. Like how I'm talking and I'm like, I don't feel like talking, but I'm talking to God's self, because there are energies of the soul that are on different levels of consciousness, but all is still self. So higher self is speaking to all of self, convincing self to come higher, but not in a human body, but in a solar body. So when I'm going to answer your question of what should happen to stop chasing the carrot and being a part of this matrix, you first have to know the tricks, the matrix. They call you human. When you came out of the womb of your mother, you learned what she learned and what your father learned. And they called you human so that you would have no rights, because they would have to now mandate things. Remember what we already talked about, mandating, and that's what is obligatory. When they mandate, they control you because they're making the laws, they're mandating the laws. So now human take this, human take that. Human, you don't own this, and human, you don't own that. You need certain rights. Human, you need human rights. You need civil rights. You need gay rights. You need every kind of right except the right to life. Because you are solar being. And if those that are watching today so choose, stop calling yourself human. Know that you are a solar being because you go to rest at night. It's called circadian rhythms that you want to stay in because you are controlled by the cosmos. And you have a solar plexus and you have a time clock inside of you. So you are now a solar being with all rights. And your eyes are the windows to your soul or your solar panels to keep you charged. And when, well, the song goes, I got sunshine on a cloudy day. See, because you got the sun inside, just like this is the month of May. You see? So you need to stay tuned up because you are a solar being. And you can gain clarity because, well, when you have a sunny disposition, you don't have that energy that is bogging you down in the night. Notice when you get sick, mostly when the sickness come upon you, it's in the night. You'll be good all day when the sun is up. But when it get night, that cold gets worse. Because you are a solar being, you're not a lunar being. See, so you want to make changes, you have to change the name. You change the name, you change the game. That's what they do. I learned that from Panamanian Mafia with my daddy in the house. That's what he told me as a child. Panamanian Mafia, okay? They teach you. Well, he taught me a few things. He said you need to use your head. And when he said you need to use your head, he didn't just mean use your noggin or what he say, or cabeza. That's what he say. He used to say cabeza, Spanish. You know, and boom, boom, and his fingers, boom, like that, make them pop. And he said, he take his head and he bam his head against my head and say, you're going to make your head hard. So your head is a weapon, not only in just fighting, because they don't expect you to use your head, literally and figuratively. See? So you say, that's one thing he teach me. And then the next thing he say is, when you change the name, you change the game. Look what they do. Horus, they make it Jesus. See? They take this name and they change that name. Now you don't know who is who. And you don't know who is anthropomorphic and who had a body. Because they keep changing the name, they need to change the game. So now, so we in this dimension. So have some fun. Change some names. I'm not human. I don't need human rights. Okay? I'm not that type of soup any longer, is what I was talking to a brethren about today. I'm like that kind of soup. I'm not no human soup. I don't want to be Campbell's soup anymore. I want to be L soup and Bay soup. So then change your name. But you have to do that because you stop classifying yourself as what they call you, because they wanted to control you. But you have everything to look at inside yourself to see that you're solar beings. Look into your own eyes and see your solar. Look at your temperature and know your solar. You're 98.6, you're hot. You're not an incubator. You're not a refrigerator, you're an incubator. So this is why when we talk about, let's get back to the title too. Where are you going? Where you going? Where you going? Because you are everything and everything is you. You think you're going to the mall. Yeah, you're going to get mauled. You think you're going to the supermarket and it's not super. You think you're going on vacation and you come back and you want to go back again because your life is not a vacation life. So where are you going? And everybody, I'm going to say this too, for those that didn't want to give me a play, Dr. G, when I was willing to pay them just to be on their platform, let me just talk about them now. Because, right, they say they're conscious. And I might pay $200 for a remote viewing or $400 because I wanted a young person to experience this, right? Well, everybody is like what you say. What about what we're going to do about the money? Well, first things first. You're not human. So if you're not human, everything belongs to you. What money? What are we talking about? Eh? What money? I am the money. You are the money. Eh? You are valuable. You are priceless. And the scripture that them want to talk about, it says your value and your price is far above rubies. Eh? More precious than gold. Hey, 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 hey. Let me talk now. So you are money, if you want to call it that. But we were bartering because we valued each other's gifts that are what? Obligatory to share with one another because we know that we are God's self. And we are the God particle that has many gifts to share with one another. That's why it says, well, you should love one another and you give because you will receive. So if you give and you receive, what need you have when God is giving back to God? Now, that's the thing that people not ready for. See, because they're human in their feelings. What? I gotta pay my bill. What? What I'm gonna do? You're gonna rely on each other. That's what you do. But you gotta put your humanness aside. Because when I'm looking online and those that didn't want me to come on and they got 10,000 views on Instagram and whatever, they trying to sell something. I could sell what I would show right at the end of this video because it's invaluable what I'm holding inside. And I want to show off. And I'm like, oh, I'm God and I have something to show you humans who would think y'all human. To help you humans, because this is what you need to be doing. And you and I said that. Just yesterday, I said a joke to you. I said, you know why let me remember the joke because I was joking yesterday so much I played too much. But I was saying that the reason why the humans is like this and chasing money is because they was told they was human, because they need to be controlled. And this has always been about controlling the human so that they never ever know who they are. So we need to give them a name. We need to call them something besides dumb and dumber.
Yeah.
So they call them human so that they could control them, so that you better not give them the name God, because we got that. That's our name. This is what the brothers were saying. No, we're God. They're lesser. They're lesser beings. So let's call them human. So then the brother against brother. This is what we talked about yesterday when I said brother against brother. And we wanted to know, I must share something with you viewers. The conversation that me and my sister had. Okay, I'm going to share this conversation, okay? Because this ties into what you said. What we was talking about, because All right. This guy, I'm gonna share it. I don't know. I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna act like your family right now, but I'm gonna share it. So some who watching, you'll have to be family to hear what I'm going to say. So when Sister Naila and I was talking yesterday, I said, you know why this is going down like this is because of Inky and Enlil, brother against brother.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that because it was Pharaoh and Moses, brother against brother, who want what is mother's. And I said, if you look at Inky, he was trying to help the humans, just like how we doing right now, right? The energy called Inky, or you want to say the person, however you want to put it. But the fact of the matter is, Inky was trying to help the human. And Lil, his brother, was like, nah, mm-mm. They can't raise up above, status that I have to, be on the same level as them. So let's cut them telomeres and let's, make them lifespan short. And then the joke was, I said, that's why people wear Nike sneakers, because they have to run for their life. Because Nike is really Inky. Because Inky trying to help everybody. Nike keep putting out new sneakers to make your feet more comfortable so you can run for your life. Because in Lil, the enlightened one, who he thinks that he is controlling the human, because the human really don't want to know that, hey, they're not human. They want to be human, and they like all of this, what we call gallery nonsense. They like all this comfort. They like the control, because they say, I need this money to pay my bills, when they're not valuing one another. It's this whole thing is so simple to change like that. The whole paradigm. And I'm looking like, what's up with these humans? They just need to know how to love. It's just that. Love is the speed that you travel. As a Sufi, I learned that love is the speed in which one travels. So if you want to get out of here quickly, love. Or your ass is coming back because you ain't learned. You can't be that dirty drop of water in a pure ocean. So you're not going nowhere, because you haven't become clear. You need clarity. And as long as you stay human, you're going to have that hue. That hue ain't clear. It's a hue. See? So you need to now what? Become solar. Solar. A cosmosis. That is why when you say in the beginning of my wannabe bio, that I'm a cosmosis. I belong to the cosmos. This whole being, I'm using it. It's the cosmos. Now we're in a galaxy. Sure. That's beautiful. But enjoy your body. And the only way you're going to enjoy it is if you start to be a cosmosan and a solar being. Because you have all right. And once again, using numbers, all you have to do is just know what is the path. What is your North Star? What direction you should be following is your ascendant. That is your star to follow, your life path. So I've done consultations to help those know their life path, so that you can stop being so human and know, this is what I came to experience. Don't let nobody mess up your experience, because that which you shared with me yesterday too about the motherfucker.
You got some people.
And I told you that.
Like, what she said?
Tell the people what you told me about the motherfucker yesterday. Come on, we got to keep it fun, you know. You know, I'm gonna keep it fun.
Yeah. No, well, it was somebody else that was given a breakdown, if you will, of the was it for which one was cut up in 14 pieces, 13 pieces? What's the Isis, whatever, you know, the mother that had to go find the pieces of her son and put him back together, and everything was there, but the phallic symbol. So she made one, which we see these symbols all over the place. And allegedly, the story goes that she then had sex with the son's corpse and birthed whoever she birthed, and that there's a cult, an Illuminati type cult that, you know, that they worship that because, you know, that's the original, you know, motherfucker, because that's what this God supposedly did. That's where that comes from. But there's an actual cult that worships the fact that the mother had sex with the dead son's corpse and then birthed another God. So that's where it comes. Yeah, thank you, Osiris. Somebody say y'all are too funny.
Yeah, I know. Your voice went down low. I can't hear you too good.
You can't hear me. Can y'all hear me? I'm talking. I'm speaking loud.
Yeah, the voice, the volume went down all of a sudden. So.
I don't know. Maybe it's blocking us in. We're seeing block words. But no, a lot of things we find when you let me go back when you were mentioning Inky and Lil, because I want to talk to. I don't know if there are any. Can you all hear me pretty good? Say
I
yes.
I can hear you as well, as clear. Let me go down.
Okay. Y'all hear me?
Do you hear
me? Can you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? Say yes.
I'm hearing you very slightly. I'm going like this to hear.
I don't know what happened, but I didn't touch anything. Everybody out there is saying yes, clear and everything, so it's on your end. Yes.
It's on my end?
Yeah, so you
just boy.
Yeah, so everybody hears me. They hear me yelling now.
Oh, wow. It's on my end. Probably somebody was able to come through and it probably knocked you down a bit. So I'm going to just pay closer attention.
All right. So what I was going to say is that for those who are still in the, you know, that religious, you know, God is a good God or a bad God. I remember, you know, being in the Bible and so forth. And I was thinking, what's wrong with God? If God makes the people and then turns around and then wants everybody destroyed. And now we find out, you know, as you study and see where this stuff really comes from, that you're looking at the story of two gods, at least. You're looking at Inky and Enlil, two brothers, one that loved the creation and let, you know, the genetic modification, I'm going to call them, because they modified something that was already here, right? So one loved and one was sick of. And so when you see that, you know, there's only one God to the religious crew, except you got this one God saying you can't have another God beside me. And if there wasn't any other gods, then the God wouldn't have a reason to say you can't have another God besides me. The God didn't have to say I'm jealous. Jealous of what? If you're the shit, then you don't have to worry about anybody else. But even in the story itself, it lets you know that, you know, we've been given, you know, they've been pulling the wool over the sheep's eyes, so to speak. And so my thing, you know, in coming out of that is to just bring people into, like, let me just show you the book. Let the book wake you the hell up, right? I'm not trying to teach you. I'm not going to put any new narrative in it. Just go back and read it with open eyes. Go back and read it in your higher self as opposed to your lower self that has been indoctrinated in a lot of fairy tales and a lot of, you know, bullshit, if you will. So it's just so many things that people are afraid to express their real, I want to say, apprehension about, the real doubts. Folks have doubts. You got to have doubts. You how could you not have doubts about stuff that has been manufactured? You know what I'm saying? Stuff that's not true. Can you hear me, Mother Khai?
Yeah, I can. It's real light. I almost wanted to go out and come back in. It's so low. but I'm going to hang with you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Somebody says read it without fear. Yeah. I mean, it's all right to, to read the book, but now when you read the Bible or any of those books, you need to have, the emerald tablets. You need to have the other, sacred texts that those things come from, the Sumerian texts and all the other names that I can't name, but I know that there's a lot of information out there that will verify, validate, and in some cases invalidate what we've been told. And when people get that and get the fear out of them, the people are afraid to be not to be human, I think, Mother Khai. I mean, because we've been told that we're only human and all that. And you're right. We are more than that. We are gods that have with amnesia. Yeah.
We say that, you come here and you have amnesia. If you look at a child, the child don't have amnesia, really. The child is bringing a lot here. We did.
Right.
Of everything that we need. We have. We're just growing. And what it is that the parents don't know the soul that they created. Because most time it was not what I call intelligent breeding happening. And this is where I'm going to tie into this thing about the motherfucker. Okay? Because when all of this is going down, and this is my take on it, that you have the feminine energy that gives it life. And according to these stories, and it's always been brother against brother and wanting what was mother's, her inheritance. And you see the word
in her
right there, her in inheritance. So what she's given her daughters is the vagina, the power to give life. But when you look in those stories in reference to the scripture, and it talks about the good offering and the bad offering, and the fact that, well, this one got this and this one didn't get that. But it talks about, and God felt that this offering was good. Remember that story?
Mm-hmm.
And that this other offering was not so great, right? Well, as a child now, just think it, even me as a child, I was wondering, how could God frown on an offering or a gift? What kind of God is that? That supposed to know everything? Is it that that gift is all that could be given? So what kind of God is that? That's the kind of question that I asked my mother. So now, when I'm thinking, well, God is everywhere because these are the things that I was taught. So that means that I have to be in the Almighty. So how would I feel if my son gave me a half apple and the other one gave me the card that I like? Well, I feel like the one who gave me the half apple was ungrateful. All the things that I do for him, and he gave me a half an apple, and part of it he bit off of. Versus my son who knows, oh, I be tired pulling shopping cart, going to the laundromat, and coming back home and folding clothes, he buy me a car. Well, I'm thinking about, this is a good child. When I have to leave, he look like he responsible and caring. I'm going to leave everything to him. And my daughter, I already give her the ability to give life. When you create your daughter, you create yourself. But that son who want to give me half an apple that he already bit off of, now he worried. He worried that his brother going to get everything, the gold, the chain that I leave, the rings, let's say whatever else, the diamonds, the silver, everything. And he ain't getting nothing. That same brother want to kill the mother, and he want to kill his sister, and he want to kill his brother because he want everything. That's the energy that we're dealing with today. The ones that are in control is according to the, what we would say, the native, the younger brother, that has that mentality. And hear me now, I said mentality. And so right now, he make mandates that he want to carry out. And he's carrying them out. And remember, he have children too. So he also want all his children to inherit what he's afraid that his brother and his sister are going to get. So let's just play around with this story for a minute now. Because I, as a mother, thinking that my son want to fuck me up. Yes. So that son is a motherfucker. I mean, yeah. And look at the world now, and you look at what they're doing to Mother Earth. They fucking up the earth. There's motherfuckers. This don't have nothing to do with ISIS and Dallas and all them stuff like that. This is the mentality of the energy that we're dealing with, who want everything that is mother's on this planet here. All the gold, all the seeds, the control of everything, because he wants to inherit the earth. And it don't belong to him at all. But let's tell them that they are human. And we can give them certain rights to certain things here. But all the while, they never can grow to be God-like. And know that our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, the Son, because it is hallowed. And the mother that is beneath your feet, they're having a love story, and you who are watching, you're the love story. And that you now are in a family feud, and that's why they have that shit on TV. Family feud. Dumb and dumber, because they make sure that the parents are dumb, and then you put them through the same system, you turn out dumber. Because it's a system. Look at the word, it's systemic. So you get warehouse. And now the dumb taught the ones that they were supposedly intelligently breeding, but they were not. They were animalistic. And I'm going to use the word again, and our algorithms should go really up, because hashtag fuck. And that's what I told you yesterday. Because that's what most is going on out here. People do not know the power of sex. And that is the greatest force in this cosmic cosmos or energy, omniverse, whatever you want to name it. But it's the greatest force. And that is all that they're using is sex on people. Sex, 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 sex.
That's magic.
Yes, because remember, that's why I said that I call myself mother, because that is the greatest title aside father. And the fact of the matter is, you, as what we have these conversations, so nice conversations, is that you don't even get taught that you could be a parent if you play around with the greatest force that there is. But you go to school to get a bachelor's and a master's degree to become a doctor or lawyer, which is substandard of a mother and a father. And the one that is controlling this whole situation, he calls himself father, and people go and confess to him. He didn't say he was doctor, pope. Mostly he's a father, the papacy. He's making sure that he has the highest title, one of the highest titles beside mother. Mother Mary, who is what? Supposed to be the one who birthed the Christ or Jesus that they reverence so much. Look at her, she's Mother Mary. So father and mother are the highest titles, and you get those titles through sex. But you're not taught because they want to control souls. And they want those humans to just come and do the work. So everything was sex on the billboard, sex in the drinking, sex in the clothes, sex, sex, sex everywhere to make more of what they need, because bodies are truly the real money. Remember, people think they're human and they don't value each other as God's self. So therefore, have more sex, make us more money, make us more dumb money.
But don't, when you say just have more sex, it means have sex without knowing what you're doing and bringing in the champions that should be brought in. They're not being birthed because the pairings and the couplings are so, just sort of so casual and without any thought to what the mother's nature is, the father's nature is, when you want to bring this soul in, that none of those things are taking place. The arrangements are out the window. And we arranged arrangements weren't just your son marries my daughter, but let's look at them cosmologically and see if by them coming together, they will bring in,
That's right. And it's very simple to do. But you see, you're not taught that.
Yeah.
You just, go into the warehouse, get warehouse, and you turn out just like the parent, because that's what they need, because they need more money. So you just go, you have sex and never know who you are, never know how to bring in that powerful being that would call for the three wise men to realize that, oh, there's this power child that is going to be birthed at this time. Because remember, the key word hashtag again is that people are in their animalistic and they're just effing. And they're effing a lot. And so now what happened is those that were using sex to get money, to get more bodies, to do the work, because that's all it is 8 hours, go to work, 8 hours, sleep, 8 hours, plan to go back to work again, and that's your life. So what they did was simply make sure that this was all happening. So they make sure that it was in the food, everywhere, everything was about sex, and making sure more people were sexualized and over-sexualized so that they could have more bodies, because that's their food. These energies eat humans. See, humans are so human. I'm not going to say it, but they're so human that they don't realize that they are also on the food chain. They think that they eat chicken and that they're high up on the food chain. But they don't realize that to another being, they is chicken.
You're right.
See, so this is how ridiculous humans are. And so just to put this in real quick, that's the only reason why I don't eat meat. It's not because it doesn't taste good. I was cultivated on it as a child, mostly fish, because when my father making fish head soup and sucking the eyes and what is it? The pig feet, the chicken, every part of the animal. I was like, I can't do that. The crab and boiling the water, and when I come in from school, they're running all over the floor, and he just like to tease me and which one you want to see go in the hot water first. That was torture, you see. And so I decided that I'm not eating meat simply because that's me. I'm meat. And it makes sense. I'm like, I'm not eating meat because I am meat, meaning that I got children and grandchildren. I'm a mammal. I'm a solar being, but so is the cow. And why would I want to eat another mammal's baby? Because I don't want mine eating it. And I know that I got some cute grandchildren, and they would look good on a table with potato around them. But I don't want that. So I'm not going to eat another mammal's babies because I don't want mine eaten. Simple. It's karma. Now, there might have been a time where, there was some, what they call, reason that people did that because the consciousness was different. But we're supposed to be gaining,
evolving,
right? More awareness now that we are solar beings. Enough of the human thing already now. This is what people are waiting for. This is called a cycle of life, where now you are the 150-watt light bulb and not the 25. And so when they did this, it's all about the effing. So they need effing people because the people are the money. You get money from people because your leg, if you're in a car accident, is worth a certain amount of money. You might be wanting to sue because you in all of this set of pain and you only hurt your leg, and they want to know what part you hurt. It's your leg, eh? They say, it's your leg? It's your back? Because they're going to estimate how much a leg is worth. If you need a kidney transplant, you can pay for it. It costs an X amount of dollar. The body is the money, period. And that's what they're monetizing. Because when they control your time, they're controlling the money. And when people be effing out of time, that's why everything, right, is going the way it's going with Agenda 21 and 30. Because they didn't expect that certain cultures would be effing so much.
To reduce the output.
Yeah.
Or get rid of the older end of it to make way for the new.
Right. So now they become extinct and overpowered because they over-sexualize everything in the food. Like I said, in the theaters, in the whatever. So everybody now is sexually stimulated. And don't forget, that's why we're talking about being solar beings, because when you talk about the lunar situation, that's why everybody doing things crazy because of the moon. And when you're not taught that you are a solar being, you can't wait to have some sex in the night or go out in the nighttime. And that's why things be crazy. That's why most time, right, it's better that you go to sleep. Because the moon, if the moon controlling you, right, let's say this, because if the moon controlling you, you might see a dude out there howling at some women because they haven't learned to control their humanness and their passion. They're going to be animalistic. So in the nighttime, if you walking around and the girl looking good and he up, he gonna start howling at the doggone woman. So it's better this is nature saying, go to sleep, rest now, in rest under the moon and rise with the sun. See, because the sun have you in a different mood, in a different disposition. So that's why they do everything under the moon and we do things under the sun. And so they make sure that when they're doing things, that they want everything for the people, the humans, to be done under the moon. Even when they're doing their little ceremonies, it's a certain moon. See? So this is so important because they're controlling people by the moon, because they don't want people to know that we weren't worshiping the sun, we were knowing the cosmos and that we are solar beings. When you go way, way back, it's the fact that we know we are solar beings and what galaxy we're in. We knew the galaxy that we're living in, and that there are many, 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 many galaxies. And that is what a friend of mine and I was talking about yesterday, about when you talk about, when I say I'm a cosmosan and my business is for years now, 1999, I posted showing people like, look, my business is called Cosmosology Wellness Research, because we're here in this galaxy, but there's billions of galaxies, just like there's trillions of cells inside of us. We're the cosmos. We're cosmoses. You look outside and you see all of the stars, and they're galaxies away. So why is it that you have to just look to those who are governing you by the moon, sex, and looking at, they're giving you a certain calendar to go by everything? It's crazy. At this stage in the game, the mind should be awakened, not reawakening. And for those that are reawakened, we have to, it's obligatory that we lead the way in love and stop having all of these seminars online charging for knowledge that if we love, we want everybody to be just like us. And so charging to view the pyramid, charging to talk about Kemet and whatever. Look, I'm gonna cut to this chase here. For all those that keeps talking about, yeah, but you got to have money. Look, you do if you're playing this game, because it's their game. They're the majority. So if the majority says it's money that's going to be in this paradigm, that's what it is. When you wake up and say it's love, then that's what it is. And we barter and we trade and we have value. We value each other. But if you're not going to play that game, then play the game with coins and chips and things like you at a casino, because you're gambling with life. And you know at least that you're playing the game. Don't just be in the game and don't know you're in the game. Because if I'm going to get some chips like you and I'm going to get some silver and some gold, I know I'm just getting it because that's what everybody else is playing with. I'm not going to play basketball with a jump rope. You know, I'm not going to play chess with checkers. So if I'm in the game, I'm going to get some gold, I'm going to get some silver because that's what everybody's playing with. So I need to get some chips. But I know that I'm in the game. But I'm in the world, but not of it. I'm just having fun getting some chips. It's just like when you go to the casino. You know your hand. And if you got a good hand, you hold it to the end. So I got a good hand. I got a good path. My life path is good, but it's not easy because I'm dealing with humans who are dealing with the reality and not the actuality. So that's what's making this thing so hard, because nothing is hard. It's just that information is being suppressed, because everybody who say they're conscious giving seminars about how to be conscious, but they're getting paid for it. But if you're so conscious, don't you want that one to be just like you, loving? So you want yourself to pay yourself. Why don't you barter and just say, you know what, if all this information gets out, then the paradigm shift. So my solution for that is, look, this house that I'm in, this space now, well, let me just stop all this, have to pay for it, all this set of seminars. Why don't we just start to take donations so we can have a wellness house, and we can start microdosing our young people on mushroom and not Ritalin? Then we're going to change the game. See? Because then their mind will open up to the cosmic flow. Why don't we have some ayahuasca retreat and some boo-foo? You see? Then I don't need to sit and pay you $200 for you to tell me about where you went to and this and that, because now I know the cosmos. I know that I'm conscious, because when I'm on the other side of my body, I hear my own voice still. I'm a consciousness, I'm a thought. I'm the creator's thought. I'm in this body and I'm having an experience, and I want to have a great experience in this body, and I don't want anyone or thing intercepting it, because they think that I must listen to them, when I know I am God's self. And you cannot kill me, because I was sperm, and that sperm was light and intelligent and knew the way down the tunnel in the valley of the shadow of death, and was alone and feared no evil, because thou art with me. So if we're going to do this, then let's do it. Let's start to microdose on the mushroom, on our children. Get them to open up. But before you give it to your children, give it to yourself. So you can't be, smarter and dumb. You got to get the parents smart so the children can be smarter. So now, if we can at least get the children, safe, because we have to keep the children safe. But the parents now, they got to come out of this stupidness, this dumbness, this numbness. They're numb. They can't feel. It's all about love. It's called the love of God, the love of self, the love of L, the love of all. All is all. So this whole topic is about, where are you going? Where are you going without love? You're going nowhere. Nowhere, because you can't go, because love is the speed in which you travel. The more you love self and love all, that's where you go, because there where your heart is, there shall you go also. You have no love in your heart, you're not going nowhere. And just for the record, you're in all, not the all, you're in all. So where are you going? You're acting like you're going to the mall. You're acting like you're going, getting in your car. So either you like acting or you don't. But at least get to the point where you're acting, where you know that you're in the cosmos. And you are the cosmos. And you're a cosmosis. And you can't get out, because the all is all. All is all. Period. So where you going? You can't get outside all. I dare somebody tell me they can get outside all. I dare. I double dare. You can't get outside all. You can get outside of this galaxy and go to other galaxies and other universe, but you can't get outside all. And you can't be separate either from all, because all is all. All is all, period. So you are all, I am all. And the biggest problem with humans is they don't know how to accept things as it is. And that's why I like to say it. It is what it is.
I'm listening to you. And
ask the people now.
Where are you going?
Where are you going? Because see, this right here, this anniversary show, it needs to get over 100,000 views, because all is all. And this is a serious thing. I play around a lot, but I'm going to just say all is all, period. You're not going anywhere. It's all in your mind. And you need to go down a few notches and get into your heart. Because they are controlling the mind. It's the thought. And the thought is everywhere. But you get into your heart, and then it's why it's called heart and soul. They're together. And so now what will happen is that you will start to live the life you came to lead. Because your path, your life path, is saying to you, this is your lesson in this galaxy, in this universe, city in the universe. And this is the degree that you want to achieve. And there's only one way you will achieve it. It's only one way. Is you have to first know thyself, and to thyself be true. And that is to know that you are a cosmic being. And you have to break away from those that say that you are human. So you need to nationalize and become that which they say you are not.
I know you said earlier, and they were the majority. I do disagree with their being the majority.
Well, they're not the majority. It's a few of them. But what I mean is that the humans are the majority.
Okay, yeah, because it's just that we have no idea how strong we are and how many we are. Mm-hmm. And so we allow, ourselves to be, it's like the elephant that has been tied to a tree with a strong rope as a baby, that when it grows into a full-grown elephant, so used to trying to tug away from that tree when it was a baby, now you can put a string around its ankle and it would stay there. It thinks it can't, when it can pull the tree down and it can uproot the tree and everything around it. And that's how we are. We just don't know how mighty, how great, and how vast, our ability is. We have to get back to that, to knowing, like the thing out of the Superman, Kyle, remember who you are.
Wait. Let me just interject one thing before you say that. I'm going to hold it right there because I don't want to lose this. That's what we're doing. That's what you're doing with the show. You're reminding people. You serve as a reminder. You're serving as God's self, reminding people. Charge is showing the people the laws that they have mandated and how to get out of what they mandate. And these men have given the humans a date. That's why they have an agenda, because it's mandated, and they dated man's existence. When they no longer need them, then it's called annihilation. Get rid of them, because they also are dumb. And we don't have a use for them any longer. What they want are the new bodies, the upgraded ones that are our children. Because nature is what we really are, and nature is creating those that would fit now in the fifth dimension. So that's what they want. And they're trying to tie everybody down into the third, which is still sex. That's below the belt. And that's why they do everything on the three. So you are a reminder. So when you say that, we have to learn and know and gain, the wisdom again, you are a reminder. That's what we're doing here. We are here for one another to remind one another. We're just reminders. We're nothing until we come together. Then we are somebody. SUMBODY. With the sum, the vibration, the number, the SUM, not the SOME, because all is all. So we're the sum. We're all together. And we have to recognize that so we can have some fun. This place should be like vacation. I like my toys.
Vacation.
I like playing with you. Look. It's fun to know that you are God and I am God and the next one is God. And let me hear what God has to say today. Yeah, but yeah, in a highly super conscious way that we're creating responsibly because we are in our higher self. Because God is also the devil. So therefore, we have some of those that are playing that role. And it needs to be a balance. Because those that are doing things, they're not doing anything to us. We're all here together as energy, and they're serving all as well. However, it's the same thing that goes on in the mind. When you have a decision, are you going to listen to, I rob the bank or I don't rob the bank? So you talking about you being a thought, well, you're the creator's thought.
I want to share something. That's what I was going to say. When you were talking about thoughts, I was going through my phone to see. I knew I wrote something about a thought. Can I share that?
Yeah.
It's called, I wrote this in 2013. It's supposed to be going in my next book. But it's called, I am the thought of my thoughts. It says, I am the thought of my thoughts. I wonder where destiny will lead me. I hear the sound of many ages. I see images of what was and will forever be. I strain to touch the edges of forever. I am the thought of my thoughts. I pretend destiny is my friend. I feel it may well be my enemy. I touch the end of forever. I worry others may never know I am. I cry over the ignorance of my people. I am the thought of my thoughts. I understand God and I are one. I say this life I have created. I dream I will wake up and not hate it. I try living outside their box. It's called freedom. I hope this illusion is exposed and destroyed. I am the thought of my thoughts. And it was just one day just thinking that what I'm experiencing is what I'm projecting, what I'm thinking about, what I'm agitating on. And when we get there, it takes the blame off of others. Because if your thoughts can create this reality that may not be ideal, then you have the same capacity to create the ideal outcomes that you want. We just think we are out of control. We think we don't have the power. But our thoughts are powerful because thoughts definitely become things. The thing Job said that I fear the most came upon me, even though, the story of Job is anthropomorphic and it's about, the sun and the signs of the zodiac, but still in its anthropomorphic state, what he thought about, what he feared, he manifested. And we do the same things. And then we holler out that somebody else is, doing this and doing that, not realizing that our own insecurities and all of the things that we have going around in our head, they end up being something. They manifest. It's almost like, if you will, because we talk about what creates, it's like having sex with ourselves. Because it produces something. Our thoughts produce.
And the thing too to remember is that our thoughts are not even our own. Not even our personality. Nothing belongs to us. See, we're feeling this experience. So that's why I'm so in love with myself. See, and when I say that, it's because this vehicle is a gift. And when I tell others, like, take care of yourself, is because the body is a gift. The body is not you, and neither the mind. See? So when you talk about the thought, and when I say I'm going to do a consultation, and I say, well, look, let me just get down to it. And I say, all right, you ready? And I put on my gloves. Like I say, like my mother taught me to be a mother, and a mother is a boxer. She stands in that ring. And I say, you ready? Because the body, well, is good as long as the soul is. And you don't want that body to drop below a certain vibration, or the soul can't stay in it to have the experience. So when you know that the personality isn't yours and the thought isn't yours, all you can look at is the journey. And saying that I came here in my mind, and no one shall control that. And no one, that means, comes on your path, because your thought is your path. Remember, thought and thought. And talk, P-T-A-H, is P-A-T-H. So therefore, no one should be on your path or on your thought other than what you come here for and where you go. Because you came here to grow your soul full of love. And all of these sort of distractions, because I said distractions, so my mind was divided, and I was thinking die. So I said distraction. But all of this is simply to grow your soul to be more loving. That's it. This is just love. When you're looking at mother love, look at the beauty of nature. She's so loving. You're doing bad, you're killing, you're still waking up and you're still eating. Even the killer. Because in nature knows that nature that just did it. Because that nature is nature too. And it comes just like the story when the prophet was walking and said, you can walk with me, but don't ask no questions. Because you may see me kill someone like this child here and think that, oh, why you killed that child? But that child might have grown up and do something that wasn't supposed to do. So it got cut short younger. Hmm? So the thing is, acceptance. And the number for acceptance is 7. So a lot of people who have 7 energy, they have a trouble accepting things and they don't trust. And so if you don't accept that you're not human, you're not trusting, and trusting is really money. Trusting is not just honesty. Trusting means when I trust you, means I'm giving you myself. I'm giving you me. I trust you, meaning I'm giving you me. That's what the word trust is. I'm exchanging my energy, which is not mine, for your energy. And together, because when you trust, that means I know that you know that you're me. And anything you do to me, you do to yourself. So I trust you. The real meaning of trust is that I know you are me. And now I'm giving you because you are me. And then now that's called a barter because we're trusting one another. And that was taken away. And on my path, it stated that I am only here to get people to know, to trust and accept. You are cosmos and you are cosmic being. And if you want to play the game in this stimulation and gather chips and play with Bitcoin, which is in the cloud, and it's determined by whatever you want it to be, the value of it, but you don't value each other, but you can value a coin that has whatever value you want to make it up to be. And it's in the cloud, and your pictures are in the cloud, your memories are in the cloud. Well, you're a solar being, though. Why is everything in the cloud? It's cloudy, meaning it's not clear. Do you want clarity in life or you want things cloudy? Well, I'm a solar being. I want clarity, so I don't want things in the cloud. And it says, why store up your treasures in places where moth and rust and thieves can steal? So what you gonna do? Put it in the cloud now? It's make believe. It doesn't even exist. Because the only thing of value is one another. And we have the most fun when we get together with those who are like ourselves. I can act a fool with you. And I feel right at home. You see?
Yeah.
And I don't care because I don't have to worry about what you think. Because I know you feel me. That's where I'm hoping to take people because my life path is about love and caring and building. That's why I'm in this galaxy, coming from afar. And I gave my word. And this is not easy talking. But I gave my word as the thought, not as the person. I'm here for the young people, the new selves to balance out this paradigm going forward because what is happening here is always the same thing. It's about kill the consciousness, kill the God consciousness, kill the fact that for you to know that ye are gods. And the proof of it is that the word kill is 8. And kill the Christ, if for those, because I could do it on the board right now, because I do have my board. But I will let those who doing it, who want to know numbers, and those who say that they're numerologists, who want to watch this video and say, who is Mother Khai? And you want to call yourself a numerologist, let me put you down on something or put you up on something. And then you go on your platform and you go and you bring it to the people for free or $1. But what I'm saying here is most valuable than anything that has been said on the internet. And I'm going to be so bold to say it. And I mean it. I said it. I meant it. And what again?
And I'm here to represent it.
Hey! Because I'm on the official Dr. G office hours. And it's not a mistake nor coincidence. And now you can reach me at Patrix Official. Because it's going to be my Gmail and my .com because I bought it.
Okay.
Because this is the Patrix. And it's running the matrix. It's just underneath. And so go and tell them I sent you to those that's watching this video. Say, I sent you. I am that I am sent you. Ma, E, backwards, ma. I am backwards is ma. I, mother. I, Mother Khai. That this is about kill the Christ, which kill is 8. And when you transpose it in the Pythagorean theorem, you will get number 19. Kill the Christ. And can we spell that thing that begins with the V? Can we spell it?
We don't.
Well, put it this way. The thing that begins with a C and ends with a D, that everybody is stating, that particular so-called challenge, okay, is simply to ID those who are the Christ. They're not worried about the humans who line it up. It's to identify those who are the Christ. Because that's what they're here once again for, to kill the Christ. You don't have to believe me, and I don't want you to, because I don't like belief. I want you to know what I'm saying, because I'm sent for you. And this is an anniversary show. And now I'm coming with it for you. I'm telling you, that's what this is all about. It's happening all over again. On this level, in this paradigm, it's about kill the Christ. And that equals 19. Now, and so to take it back, when Royal Rife came and his life path was 19, he came to put an end of disease. And he drank himself with wine and spirit. A weapon of those that are using that on our children, that give them the ability to go in a so-called supermarket that you're supposed to get food, but you can buy wine and spirit. So that our children now can be depressed and overstep and become dumber than the parents. So that you can kill the Christ now, because this is the year 21. It's agenda 21. It's been instituted at warp speed to kill the Christ. Because our children who are 21, in 9 years, they would be 30, the number 3. And 3 is the children. And 9 is a complete cycle. And from 21 to 9, you have agenda 30. And of course, that's a 3. So now, when the body takes 7 years to heal itself totally, you add 21 to 7, you will get the year 2028, which is add it up, 3 years, the children, once again. But by the time you get to 2030, you're going to have the same thing that's going on right now. changes, because that's why it's agenda 21, because 2021 is a 5 year, and so is 2030. So you're going to see things happening quick and changing. And the people who they are after will have changed, because they're doing things in such a way that is what they're calling a biological warfare. So it's biologic, meaning that you can't see because you can't see yourself. It's an attack on your biology. So you can't see yourself as the Almighty, and everything is nano, smaller than the size of a safety pin at the tip. So you can't see what they're putting even in the capsules that you're taking and saying, I'm healing myself. So I would not advise taking capsules, especially from corporations that don't mean you any good, and they're buying out the small businessman, putting them out of business because they don't even want you to ever heal. So if any money is to be spent, it should be spent on us getting our own scientists that could go in the court of law with the weapon that we have called Brother Taj Tariq Bey, and get a scientist, because they have their scientist called Fauci. We must have a scientist somewhere that can challenge what is being said. And also, where there is the poison, there is the cure right next to it. So just like how they're having our children go and get that, you know what, there must be a scientist who knows how to reverse it.
And there are. You know,
Yes.
there's,
And
you said
so
there's
we need
always
to put
an
our
antidote.
money that we have where our heart is, not where, see, our mouth is. So this is the attack, kill the Christ. And when we talked about this, I said if you take 21 and you add it to 30, you get 51.
Mhm.
And that's area 51, that which was remaining hidden. So you have 51, 5 and 1 is 6, and 21 and 30 is your 3. And then you take your 21 to your 30, you get your 9, your 3, 6, 9, and they're using frequencies to kill the Christ, because it's a biological war. You can't see it. And the 3, 6, 9 we know is the code.
And that's
And
why
people call it the Tesla code, but Tesla studied our lessons.
and we're
So that's
fortunate.
how you know. It's not a coincidence. And for all of those that is numerologists, go and tell them, I said so, that it's 21 and 31. Let me say it again. That makes 51. And that is what is tied to this whole mutation. Because if you take the word mutation, well, you can see simply in the word itself. And you look at the word stimulation, and they say, I play with words. Well, I can't play with what I did not create. So if you talk about this whole stimulus or stimulation, just take out the T, because the T is the cross, the Christ. Take out the Christ. That's what they're doing. Kill the Christ. Take out the T out of stimulation, and you get stimulation. And this is a simulation, and we're here as a higher God consciousness to bring this cosmos back into balance. And some of us are not from here. And we came to help the poor little humans. And you have the spirit of your brother Ink, and you are your mother's child. And so you take that T out of the stimulation that they've supposedly given everybody 1400, 600, 1200. And I've already showed you how that is in relationship to the number 3 as well. So now you have that. So now this is what it's all about. They're stimulating the stimulation.
And you know, there's a lot of other, and I know we're almost out of time, but there's a lot of other things going on, and I don't know that people are paying attention because they keep throwing a lot of things out. And one of the biggest things, another thing besides whatever Russia's supposedly doing with the gas, the oil, is the divorce of the prominent couple that had so much to do with this, and it seems so also contrived. It seems also it doesn't make sense at all, except it's another, as you say, a simulation. So if we start hating on the one that's being hated, we make it seem like, no, I say we them. If we act like if we throw him under the bus, seemingly, maybe it'll look like we're not really trying to do anything to the people. And I hope people aren't falling for that, because the whole thing, like you said, it's a simulation. It's a what's the movie with the Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And
it's a
if you continue to
true man human story.
And you know, it's a shame that so many can't see. Yeah. And like I said, I feel personally that what we're talking about right now for these 3 hours,
2 hours,
there should have been a lot of donations and, you know, coins thrown this way, because this information is only being given because we love. That's it. We love ourselves. And we know that everyone watching, we want to be well. Because if mother ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, and nobody ain't happy if mother ain't happy.
Mother, do you actually give classes in numerology classes, iridology? I mean, because I know you use a bunch of quite a few modalities. Do you provide classes?
I haven't given classes. I've taught individuals, and that was in 1999, and they were youngsters, you know. And since the distraction of having to get through the Matrix and not having a real solid team that is like myself, I didn't have time on my side. If anyone would like to, then they need to start donating to the House of Reawakening Minds and put hashtag reawakened.
Well, you know,
and then it can be so.
Well, we talked about this, and so one of my goals going forward eventually will be to have a complete holistic center. And so, you know, that goal, I'm hopefully in 2 years, the the cost of the med bed will hopefully go down a little bit. But if not, I'm gonna manifest that med bed so that people can come and get healed. I'm going to manifest.
Well, you know, while we're talking, because those who are going online and charging $245 and $50, and they're getting 100, you know, 1,000 views or 10,000 views, they could donate a med bed. And for those that are watching who don't know what a med bed is, explain to them what it is.
Well, you brought up Royal Rife, and so Royal Rife and Tesla and some of the others who are the early pioneers of this work, which actually is ancient. Let's go back. It's ancient technology that they rediscovered, and was able to energetically put it into I guess you would call them devices that are able to do some amazing things to and for the body, on a emotional level, on a healing energetically. It educates you about what's going on inside your body. But these med beds, you can look this up. Actually, they have 3 different kinds of med beds. My understanding is there's a med bed that actually is sort of reverse aging. So you get on this, you spend time on this bed, and it actually reverses aging. There's one that is really good for reversing trauma, and then there's one that also literally regenerates limbs in the body, and so forth. So we can't say that things do what they do. That's the unfortunate thing. But you can look up the the medbed technology. That's like a tongue twister. Medbed technology. But then we also, on a smaller scale, we have the AO scan, which is a handheld, does some great things, but the med beds they're running about 60,000 and up per bed. And what they do is amazing. And so the goal will be, when the full holistic center is an operation, that it'll have a med bed and a med chair, and people will be able to come and get healed. We don't need all that.
Right. And you know what? I want to just say this. The med bed is $60,000. And with all of this stimulation being circulated and everybody getting 1,400, if you pay yourself first, you take the 400, you take the 1,000, and you donate that. If 60 people donated $1,000, what would that be?
We literally need med beds in everywhere we are. We need to have, there needs to be within like I don't know, I'd say 100 miles of everybody, there should be a med bed. There should be a place that people can go.
And so we need to have the first place, and I'm merely suggesting as a reminder, we need healing. I'm just reminding people.
Absolutely, we do.
That if you want to invest in yourself, find that fiat currency that is declining. And before it declines, and you haven't converted it over to gold and silver, because you don't even know your own value, because others who don't value you, you start to feel like if you don't have that house, that car, that this, that, you're not valuable because you don't have what they have, and you're comparing yourself to others. Take your $1,000 and invest with all of us.
Yeah.
And when we get that med bed and you go in it and you rejuvenate it, and the one who thought they was better than you looking rotten and they're sick. Let's see who is wealthy now. Because your health is your wealth.
Your wealth, yes.
So don't think about, I need to go and pay this bill and that with my fiat currency. Think about your health for one in this lifetime. Do it in a big way. Because that's all you have is your body. And it needs to be at a certain vibratory rate, or the soul can't live in it. And with all that is being done to the human and the people, you need something to work in your favor. And now that this is the Aquarian age, they are finding it harder to suppress that which nature created, called by the name Royal Right, called by the name
Nikola Tesla, and Tesla,
by the name Noble Drew Ali, called by the name Bob Marley, called by the name who can I say? Oh, Muhammad Ali. I am the greatest, he said. I love Muhammad Ali because he always said, I am the greatest. You see,
See,
called by the name
but he wasn't
Maya
able to
Angelou.
get the technology that has been hidden. Those that
Yes,
many of ones that you're naming that have gone off, off scene, if you will, they would be here because they wouldn't have had to deteriorate. And then you'll see some of them, and you're like, you mean to tell me they're not dead yet? Oh yeah, they've been around for 100 years. What? Because they have the technology to keep themselves
we
rejuvenated.
have
And we
to
need wellness
invest.
centers. Yeah.
We have to invest in our children becoming scientists. That's why my business is called Cosmology Wellness Research, because I'm a researcher. I don't claim to believe. I seek. And so I want to cultivate more seekers. That's why we have this deficiency, because we are looking at our children going back into the same warehouse, and when the bell rings, they move and go to the next classroom. That teaches them nothing.
Right.
We need more scientists because those that are now the doctors and the lawyers, they may have had that life path and that calling. But once they got in that system that was systemic, they learned crack. They learned how to keep the body a simple note. That's it, a note. Not a playing note, but a monetary note.
But even a playing note, that's important that, we are tones and vibrations and sound. We
Yes.
are 12 tones within our body. But I just purchased, while I was away on vacation, I'm hoping that it comes this week, but I just purchased a 12, no, 7 chakra crystal um, singing bowls, the real crystal ones, the white crystal ones, because of when I really look, I have the smaller ones, but I wanted the ones that actually are toned to each chakra and that actually have healing capacity. So until I get I'll be using this, I'll be using AO scan, and then I'll be using crystal technology tones in order for healing. And it's just important, and setting up, doing what we can do to get ourselves and our kinfolk to the place of optimal health and well-being. Um, it's like anything else. Like they said, if you're on a plane and it loses cabin pressure, before you put the um, thing on somebody else, put it on yourself, because you can't help anybody else. So we're the so-called physician healing thyself, but at the same time sharing the information so that folks who have an ear to hear will say, okay, that sounds like something that I need to be part of. And when I say, I mean, when with if we can raise the funds to get the donated units, there's no reason why anyone has to pay. If anything, they would give a donation, because maybe whoever the technicians are that are running the actual sessions would have, if that's what they're doing, then they need to be compensated. But no, you're not going to pay 500, 300, $200 for something that may turn everything that's wrong with you right in a matter of a half hour. Now that's something. And when people go in these med beds, experiences that come out, when they come out, I mean, they are multi-dimensional. I mean, they literally go into the cosmos in these med beds. People that I was talking to Dr. Armstrong yesterday, who has the med chair. The first med bed that I know of in our community is going to be in Georgia by the end of June. So I'm going to be going down there. But a gentleman got in in the chair, and while he was in the med chair, which only takes about 15 minutes, he said he had an experience where his father, who had transitioned about 10 years prior, visited him while he was in the chair and gave him told him what he needed to do to straighten out his relationship with his son. And he said it was something that his father came to him, said another woman was on the chair. She got out of the chair and she was angry. And he said she really didn't like the experience, But she came back for another appointment because she said, actually, she was angry because of all the stuff she realized that she had to, all the people she needed to, things she needed to make right, people she needed to apologize, things she knew she should have done while she was in that chair. It all came rushing to her. So this is how you fix it. But what she had to do to fix it was she had to eat some humble pie. And a lot of times people don't want to admit that they're wrong. We don't want to apologize for what we've done and what we've said or what we've thought that may have been ought towards someone else. And while she was in that chair, everything came rushing to the front like it's never going to be right until you deal with this, and this. So she was angry, but she was more angry with herself because she knew it was true. And so it deals with you on some different levels. So but this has been awesome. And when you talk about vacations, and you know what, you don't want to get off of the background, you guys that you see behind me is actually the background of where I spent last week. That's the living room. So I took a picture of it so I could be in this living room with the ocean behind me. So whenever I feel like it. I was thinking at the last moment, I thought, wait a minute, let me put that picture I took up of the living room before I left with the ocean in the background, and I could be there anywhere. I mean, you know what? You can imagine, and you can be where you want to be. You know what I mean? And so I've created a reality so that I don't have to wait till next year to go back there. I've got it right here anytime I come on and I want to be in that living room. So, but I want to thank you. Somebody said they didn't have med beds overseas. Okay, I'm just trying to see if there's any questions. But yeah, there's so much that we need to embrace. We have to stop majoring on minors. That's my thing. People get really hung up on the little stuff, and the major things that we really should be dealing with, we push it aside. But I think we're in a place and time where people are more open now. I think the Aquarian energy, the Aquarian light is opening a pathway for truth, and people who are heretofore would not embrace those alternative. And I hate calling it alternative because it actually is the truth that was more existent before we got programmed out of who we really were. But we'll call them, modalities and so forth. But our people, ancients lived by this. They didn't go to, they didn't run down to the neighborhood, Rite Aid or wherever it was, to the pharmacy and get some, they didn't do that. They understood what it meant to walk out and see what was around you, because 9 times out of 10, whatever you need is growing right out in your environment, right outside your door, your front lawn, your back lawn. I've had that happen in the last couple of summers. I keep coming up. Now I have pictured this and I go, what's that? Then you see it's got a healing. It deals with allergies or it deals with that, and it's growing in the yard, and we think it's a weed. And so nature is bringing to us what we need, but there is technology, the energy, because all is energy. We are energy. And when you balance those energies and optimize those energies, you and I both have gotten results working with clients and ourselves. And my father is like the ultimate, if you will, just to, what happened with my dad, who's with just technology.
Is the ultimate vengeance is mine, said the Lord.
What did you say?
I said, your father is the ultimate vengeance is mine, said the Lord.
Oh yeah, because in spite what other folks would think was happening, and the beautiful thing about this energy is that you don't have to be where the people are. Energy travels. There's no space time, obstruction. It just goes where your intention is, and it goes and it does what it needs to do, and gets out of there. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And I love you, Mother Khai. I love you so much. I love you for your, just for your openness, honesty, and your just straightforwardness. And that's why I know so many enjoy when you're here, because we know that we're going to hear straight, as you say, from the cosmos. And we have to hear more from you. And I don't know. You don't want to. You do need to do maybe some workshops. Maybe you don't want to charge them much, but we still, there needs to be some things that maybe you could do a Zoom class or something on numerology and something. I would love to.
I'm not saying that it's not a charge. You see, we are energy. So we are charged up already. You see, once we value each other. And so when we charge one another, it's like what you do to me right now. You give me a charge. And I hope that we're giving those who are watching a charge. See? Because you get warm, you get this good feeling. It's like when you with, you know, oh man, I think what happened here. Oh, I was like somebody. I appreciate the cash app that came through. So that's why I, I almost lost it. But what I was saying is that someone just gave us a donation, and I said us because everything that comes to me will be going toward what our path is because we're here together. And I recognize that. And so when I'm talking about the charges, I'm charged by the cosmic energy, the flow. I am the cosmos, no doubt. And so just by being here, I'm hoping that I'm electrifying, I'm magnetic, so that those who need the charge can receive it. All they needed to do was just plug in to what we say.
I was looking, somebody was asking for your contact, and I've had it on here, but for some reason, I may have accidentally deleted it. And so I wanted to put, well, what's the best way for if somebody wants to contact you?
For right now, because I'm like the number, if I give it out, I'm thinking, I'm going between numbers because when I'm
What
looking
about
to
email? How
give
about the email?
information,
Give me email.
sometimes what I'm noticing is that I'm getting blocked even to upload anything on YouTube. And that when I go to put something on Instagram, it won't go. And then I switch over to a next phone. So I go to a next phone number. And right now I use the AO scan number. And I'm thinking the first numbers in that uh, is 385, I think it is, right?
Yes.
So if that number is, my number would be 385 and then 3, I think 332 and then 7261. But for now, if you have to, then just email me at letters, Lettuce, B as in boy, kind, KIND, 2 at Yahoo. And the reason why
At
my
Yahoo?
email for
Is
right
that at
now is
Yahoo?
lettuce be kind too, is because lettuce, a pun on let us, but
Is that
lettuce
Yahoo or Gmail?
at Yahoo.
Okay.
And so let us be kind too. When you look at the word kind, you see the word kind of. So it's also saying care. But the main part of that word is kin. We are kin, and we should be kind because we are kin. And so when I realized that so many were not seeing me the way they needed to see me in my own family, I realized, I'm a different kind. So not only am I being kind, I was being too kind. And people said, no, there's no such thing as being too kind. Yes, there is. So as we're being reminders on this platform, I want to remind those there is a such thing as being too kind. We must have balance. And so when we were speaking today about kill being an 8 vibration, we're in an 8 contract. Remember the code to the Patrix 1/20/2021. That inauguration date, that is 8. So this contract that we're in is about kill, and kill the Christ is 19, And there are certain things that they are implementing that has 19 at the end of it. So the only thing that you can do to win as a cosmic being, a solar being, make no doubt, is to kill them with kindness. Because the more we recognize ourselves as the face of God and the lies that they told, saying no one has ever saw the face of God
and lived,
is a lie. And when you take the F out that they put in the world, the effing, so you got life. But if you take out that F, you see it's a lie. So they have been lying and effing everything up. And I'm here, as well as my sister and quite a few others. I want to shout out Dr. Botanica.
yes, yes.
And I'm going to ask him to please call me because we have work to do, and anyone else who is a naturopathic physician. Because the healers who call themselves healers, who are truly helpers and reminders, we need some time. We want a vacation life, not to have to go on vacation. And we need a reboot. So we all have to service one another first, so that when we go out and be reminders to others, we are in our prime and all the worms are out. Because we are living bacteria. And we have to take in those things that are bitter so we can be better. And the world right now will only get better if we get bitter about what is going on and be more kind to one another, because bitter is the cure. It's called bittersweet. You know, when you're dealing with chocolate, the best chocolate is bittersweet. And that's what we are.
Right.
So we have to put that dose of medicine back into the world, because that's what is missing. Bitter, sweet. And that's a balance. We got to be chocolate, because that's what we are. We're chocolate, pure, unadulterated, organic chocolate. And what else do you want? What else could you want? When you was a child, what you want? That sweetie. I want some chocolate. It just make everything better. And we together are chocolate. We make everything better. Everything. When we know that we are organic, not this, what we are being told we are, so that we are being mandated and we are not being, what we call obliged. We're not obliged to listen to nature. We're still calling it, like obia, and like I said, voodoo. And we know in that, yes, it's magic. Nature is magic. You just saw the seed go in the ground, and now when you see in a bud, that's magic. Marvel at the magic. Marvel at your 5 fingers on your hand. Just look at the body and look at the magic and fall in love with the one who is outside of you, who is you too. Because we have to stop this. No one ever seen the face of God. They want you to continue with the nonsense because they don't want you to see yourself. And in Islam, they have no mirrors. They say it's shirk to look into a mirror. I went through that school as well. Why you can't look in a mirror? Because it has your reflection, and you might think that you look good and become vain, is what I was told and taught. How about I might see my own beauty and be appreciative of the gift? of this body and want to take care of it and not to put that which is filthy inside of it. And know that I have more than the brain that is in my head that wants to control me. And that I have to get some guts to be able to love those that don't love me because they don't see themselves, and those that think that they're controlling anything, but they're not controlling anything. It's just that we are allowing them to. No one can control you unless you give them permission. Let's keep it real, because we are God. So when people are complaining, it's because their human emotions, they like complain and comfortable at it. And they learn that from their parents, to complain about, I ain't have no money, I gotta pay this bill. I ain't a complain and complain and complain. And it, the sin of the father fall upon the child to the fourth generation. And now it's time for the fifth dimension. And so it done fell, and now everything have to be what? Warp speed. Because we can't start new. They don't want nothing start new. So it's kill, 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 kill. 8. And that is the D in 8. Hear me now. D in 8. D in 8. And that is the reason for this identification, to identify those of us and our children who are now born, those new ones who have the spirit of a Christ in them.
Well,
so this is why you see this simulation. If you take out, like I said, the T, the stimulation, you take out the T, you get simulation. But if you take out God, which we are, the L, the EL, or the L out of that, then you get you're going to get mutation.
Well, I always say, and I love saying to, others, especially when I was doing more of my meditation, I need to get back to that Namaste, because Namaste definitely denotes that the God in me sees and honors and recognizes the God in you. And that's the place where we have to get to. Yeah, you're right. They lie, because when we look at each other, we see God.
Yes. You might not like what you see and hear and want to accept that that person right there could be God, because it's like, well, that's dumb. But remember, it's a consciousness. So that's right now, that's the consciousness that has to rise up to, like we were talking about, the pure water. They have to recognize themselves. That's all. So you're looking at that person going, that person sure can't be God. No, they don't know themselves, but they still are. They're still the creator's thoughts going out. And they're on a journey on their path to discover and learn. It's the same thing when they say, like I always say, God ain't finished with me yet. Meaning that it's the same thing when I said to my mother, I'm gonna. And gonna ain't do nothing. Gonna means simply that, I will, but I still haven't. Meaning it's in the process. I'm a thought. So the thought is the idea. And when you look at the idea is still equal to 10. If you transpose idea, you get 10, which is a 1 and a 0, which is the masculine and the feminine. Do the homework. Because that's what an idea is. It's the program. It's the masculine and feminine.
It's the potential to come together.
It's the almighty's thought.
Right? Is it not the potential of the masculine and female feminine to come together to create?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, listen, we have gone over by 30 minutes, which is not bad. It's not bad. I'm just a little tired. I'm trying to get back on get into, not back, get into a circadian rhythm, because we talked about that. I don't get the proper rest that I need. And I'm pretty sure that's one of my prescriptions for wellness, is to get proper rest. And so I want to say thank you for coming on my sister and helping me celebrate 1 year. It's hard to believe it's been a year. And I want to say to you all that are listening or who may watch this in replay, please, please, please. I have a new channel, which is this one is not going away. I have to let folks know this one is not going away. However, I'm asking that you would subscribe, and I want to say thank you to the 400 and some people who have um, subscribed already, and I don't have anything up. So that says a lot that you all, have subscribed to a channel that has nothing. But I'm trying to get to 1,000 because I don't like doing, in order I can put up some things, but I'll have to pre-record it. And I really want to do some live stuff over there. I mean, I really want to do some really I want to take the metaphysical and all that stuff over there. House of Real Awakening Minds will have its, would be more of the more science and so forth. So this channel is not going away at all, but I do need you all to help me get up to 1,000. When you put in Dr. G is DrGISOFFICIAL, Dr. G is official. If you go to YouTube and put in Dr. G is official, it's going to come up with somebody like Darius is official. That's not who you want. You want what you put in there, Dr. G. And if you click on did you really mean Dr. G is official? It'll take you to the page. If you would be so kind as to subscribe, I appreciate it. At the same time, we're still trying to get the numbers up on this channel. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. Please like and please share. And please, where you can, support. We appreciate it. And support our advertisers, everyone whose information who goes across. And I want to say, I'm not going to say that. Just support our advertisers, please. These are melanated businesses, and we're putting or services, and I'm putting it up there because these are folks that have been on the show, and this is how I show my appreciation to them by running their ads. So that's the way we do it here. We barter, and so please go and check them out. My daughter is also doing is she has her official website now. So please make sure if you want a reading or consultation, she now has a website. You can put your information in. She's awesome. She's the bomb. You can get a free consultation by Maisha Yvette. You also, some of you know her from singing the song Reawakening Minds that we play, but she is an awesome reader and she's a medium. So please check her out. And again, subscribe to the channel. Please reach out to Mother Khai. Here's her number and her email address. Support. We love you. And we'll see you next time. You have anything you want to say before we go off?
Yes. Mother? I want to say that what I'm hoping to do on the platform is definitely to bring those who are 50 and over into a reboot, because it's really important that you know that you've lived on this planet and you've been lied to and you've been eating food that has something in it to keep you addicted, and that you don't know what natural flavoring is. And now the new additive is also tapioca. So it's really crucial that you learn now how you need to consume a liberty, not a diet. We have to get rid of the die and the kill, right? This very moment. And in Atlanta, I have two awesome God children. Salahuddin Seville, who is a master uh, Reiki practitioner, awesome, remarkable things that he can do, as well as Ayakasi Lee L of the Simple Truth LLC.com. Go and check him out. It's amazing what they can do with light therapy and healing, even with their bare hands. They're doing it. And we're looking for those who really want to be conductors, not leaders. because leaders just want to be heavy, like lead. We need conductors now, those that know that we are moving into the age of energy and frequency, and we're taking our children higher on a train that we're talking about. We're going somewhere and it's moving in the station. And we're going where we want to go. We're conducting it. We're not being led because it's heavy. We are the golden people. So we're conductors. And that is all that I really want to be a reminder, is that we are all on and we are not going anywhere. So, as in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. We started by saying, this is, where are you going? And I'm going to lead by simply saying, you can't get out. You just can't. You are the cosmos. You are in the cosmos, one and the same. All is all. And hear this well, so that when you leave, you will have a charge. Because other than that, it was a waste of your time and mine, because we are one and the same. That you know you are going nowhere. You are all, and all is all, period. And so, with that being shared, just play. Be the instrument that you are, the body, and play your tune. And when you so need, so you can call Dr. Naila or myself and get a emotional scan that will show you that by the voice that you have, it will imprint your emotional status internally that can affect you physically. And you will know that you are without, beyond the shadow of any doubt. Because today, on this anniversary, what I want to make certain before we close off, and it may seem longer, is that I leave Naila's show on this anniversary being remarkable. That you know that you are a wave of energy, and you are able to be in your flow as long as you grow and you know that you are all in all, period. I am grateful for this opportunity that has been afforded me. And I say this as you say things to me that I hear you saying right now, because there is no space in between us. And I hear you, and I'm here to be as you will and serve, as God's self, higher self. As we grow together, we go together. And to you, Sister Nadia, for having me as me.
Namaste. 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 Love you. Really? Yeah, that's 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 really? Yeah, that's